Hey guys, Jonathan here, and with the new 1966 Batmobile UCS model on the way, I thought it would be fun to go down memory lane and revisit every 1966 classic TV Batman minifigure LEGO has ever offered us. Now, the majority of these came from the classic TV Batcave that was offered many years ago, but we've had some other ones pop up in random places over the years, so without further ado, let's take a look at every single Adam West era Batman minifigure that's ever been offered. So as mentioned, the majority of these figures do come from the old 66 Batcave set, which was absolutely legendary. Loved that set so much back in the day. And we have Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson up front. Now, interestingly enough, I believe that both of these figures have exclusive torsos, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think that they actually ever got used again anywhere else. But if we look at Dick Grayson here, I did add the shark repellent accessory that came from the Lego Batman movie CMF. So that didn't come in this, but I figured since it was a reference to the show, I might as well just go ahead and include it. As far as the heads, both have reversible sides. Dick Grayson with a scared face and Bruce Wayne with kind of a confused face. And you might recognize the Bruce Wayne head from Ant-Man from the 2015 version, as well as Ezra from Lego Star Wars Rebels from back in the day. The Batcave also came with Alfred, who had a pretty standard torso. He had this pushback white hair, which has appeared in some places since then, but that's pretty cool too. And then he had this great head that debuted on this figure and stayed exclusive. As you can see, it does have a reverse side as well. The head would work really well for a Stan Lee custom if you ask me, but overall, a really nice figure that I think has aged really well. The Batcave also came with the Penguin and the Riddler, and one great thing about that set is they literally gave us all the main characters, which is really cool. The Penguin figure was used in other Lego Batman products, so he was not exclusive, but the Riddler was, and he had that great torso print, the great head print, and you could flip the hair around to see a more mischievous look on the other side. Up next, we have Mr. Freeze and Catwoman. Catwoman is an amazing figure, one of my favorite LEGO DC figures ever, with the ears and just so much detail. I think it translated to LEGO so well. And then Mr. Freeze was actually a LEGO store exclusive GWP when the Batcave came out. So pretty cool, and you can still get those out there sealed. I see them every so often. Anyways, Mr. Freeze has some awesome torso printing. I love the blue head with those red eyebrows. Looks really great. Then, of course, he's also got a brick-built freeze gun that looks really good and very campy out of the Adam West show. Catwoman, of course, has a reversible head that looks absolutely awesome, and I like how you can see some of the sequins of her costume just kind of peppered throughout, and it looks really awesome, and like I said, it's just one of my favorite LEGO DC figures we've ever gotten. Now, the Lego Batman movie was awesome for giving us tons and tons of obscure Lego Batman characters, including some ones from the 66 TV show. Now, are these explicitly based off the 66 TV show? I don't know. You could make the argument either way, but in my mind, both Egghead and King Tut are more aligned with the 66 show than anything to me. Like, when I think of these characters as Batman villains, I always think of the Adam West show, so I'm going to go ahead and include them here. Egghead was really cool because you could see that he had these tails. It's like a cloth piece that goes between his torso and legs, and he had this giant bald piece that went on top his head to make him his famous Egghead shape. And then King Tut was actually a part of the Lego Batman movie collectible minifigure series. Because of that, he got the, dual molded legs here with different colors, printing on the sides of the legs, just incredible detail, of course, on the torso with the cape and the Cobra staff and the Pharaoh headpiece. This figure is super awesome, and when I saw this come out back in the day, I literally could not believe it. Because we've gotten more than one Joker figure, I can actually do a comparison of sorts. So the one on the left here is from the original Batcave, and the one on the right is from the 2021 Batmobile, which actually hasn't been referenced in this video up to this point. Both figures are almost identical. The only real differences are some very slight differences on the torso print, just the way the jacket's laid out, and then, of course, the head prints. Otherwise, pretty much all the same colors are used. The original one has slightly darker, like magenta-colored gloves, but, of course, both figures have Cesar Romero's iconic mustache because he was on another show and couldn't shave his mustache, so the Joker had to have a mustache back in the day. So funny. Anyways, when we flip it around, I actually think I like the reverse heads for both figures just a little better. I like this confused face on this one, and on the original one with that open mouth, that is just exactly how I think of the Joker from the old show. So I think both of these look really great, and I love them equal. Now, with the 66 Batmobile coming out, it is so confusing how we didn't get a Robin figure, let alone a Joker figure. But the original Robin from that Batcave set is literally one of the best DC minifigs ever. We didn't get dual molded legs, interestingly enough. They're just green with printing on the sides. I feel like if Lego made it today, it'd probably have dual molded legs, but I digress. There's great printing on the hips, dual molded arms, and of course, that iconic Burt Ward grin. That looks awesome as well. I love the short style cape. If we lift it up, there is a little bit of printing on the back of the torso. Then, of course, on the head, we've got that grin and even a scared face on the reverse side. I'm still so sad Lego did not update this figure for the 66 Batmobile in 2024, but this figure, as of this video, sells for like over 60 bucks, which is insane. It should go for $66. And just like the Joker, since we've had multiple Batmans, I figured I'd show you them all side by side. Now, since I have them all side by side, I actually said in my review that these figures have the exact same torso, but seeing them side by side, I'm actually not sure if I believe that. The 2021 one, which is in the middle, this one, which is the 66 Batmobile from 2024, and this one, which came in the 66 Batcave, all, I believe, have different torsos. Well, obviously this one does, but when I look at the print quality of the 2021 versus 2024, I see a huge difference in definition as well as possibly the shade of the torso. I think the 2021 one is like a slightly lighter shade than the dark bluish gray this one has. My eyes may be going crazy in my old age of 28. But I do believe there is a difference. Another difference, of course, is that the 2021 version had printing on the front of the legs, whereas the 2024 does as well, but they're dual molded. So that's pretty crazy as well. Of course, the 2024 version also has the rubber cape, which I'm really not a big fan of, but I also hate the spongy capes on the originals too. I much prefer the paper capes, which seem to be getting rarer and rarer outside of Star Wars, but still really, really cool stuff here, and let's go ahead and take a closer look at the original Batcave version now. I do believe that the cowl is slightly different between the years. They just don't look exactly the same in person, but I'd love to hear from a Lego designer if they actually did change. Anyways, we can lift up the cowls and show you what they look like, at least for these two. In fact, let's get him out of the way so we could get them a little bit closer. So, of course, we've got a little smirk here and a slightly more tanned color scheme here to his skin tone, whereas this one is a lot more pale. But of course, they both look really great. We can flip them around and see that they both kind of have like fighting faces on, so that's quite cool as well. And when we lift those up, you can see that the Batcave version actually does not have the zipper printed on, but the zipper is printed onto the 2021 version. And for what it's worth, on the 2024 version, the zipper is printed too. The print looks incredibly similar between the two, but the 2024 does have a slightly better print quality, as we were talking about. The head is also reversible on this, with an angry face on one side and an open mouth grin on the other. So lots of different Batmans here, lots of interesting stuff going on, but I digress that all three are really great, while the original Batcave version does remain my favorite of the three, and truthfully one of my favorite DC minifigs ever. So with that being said, let's go ahead and round out this video. Alright guys, thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.